take you back to the nation's capital now, where the South African Local Government Association, or SALGA, is today intensifying its profiling mandate through a nationwide civic responsibility campaign. Now, the campaign aims to educate members of the public about their duties and obligations towards paying for municipal services rendered. And the campaign launch is part of SALGA's intent to focus on advancing a people-centered democratic local government. And the launch will take place at selected venues across the country's 9 provinces. Nosipho Mncube is in the nation's capital for us, so let's cross back to her. She is in Mamelodi. Nosipho, and of course we heard earlier from the Deputy Minister of COGTA. You have the President of SALGA, you said, for us in the next crossing, so let's hand it back to you.
Yes, Sakina, as promised earlier, I do have SALGA's president here with me, and that's Councillor Bheke Stofile, to speak to us about this nationwide campaign, Sishoge, which is, let's say, campaign trying to encourage citizens across the country in local municipalities to pay for their services and encourage a conversation amongst everyone as to what are some of their misconceptions around this matter. But without wasting any more time, Councillor, thank you very much for your time. We spoke to the Deputy Minister earlier, but we would just like to elaborate with you on the need for this campaign, as well as the selected areas that you have chosen. Why, for instance, Mamelodi?
Thank you very much, and greetings to you and your listeners. We really appreciate to be participating and be invited by yourselves to share some thoughts about our campaign. This campaign, it comes from the conference that we held in Cape Town. And of course, as more you reflect to the conference, you see more reasons why campaign of this nature. And you are also aware that the Auditor General have just issued an audit report that had to do with the local government performance. What we need to always understand within this campaign, is that local government system in South Africa is embedded on the 3-legged pot. Is council, is administration, is community. Now, if you take that, you need to mobilize the 3rd leg. Over the years, we have not been really mobilizing the 3rd leg. Now is to mobilize the 3rd leg to take ownership of their business. Because local government is a business of the community. And community in the local government business are shareholders of this business. And in any business, it has shareholders of reference. When a business picks up difficulties, it interacts with its shareholders. For its shareholders to participate in turning the business that they've invested a lot of its resources to around. One of the challenges that we are always facing is that there is a growing gap between the local government practitioners and the shareholders of the business. Now, we are saying it is important for us to close that gap. And you can see this gap emerging in different formats. One of the formats is that I think you also see it. People that are just destroying the assets of a municipality, destroying electrical poles, for cable theft and many other things. The impact that it does to the business that we are running are so huge, to a point that shareholders of reference, because these things are happening in communities, we need to close ranks and participate in defending the assets so that the asset value can rise, so that more investment can be made in changing the conditions and life of individuals. And in our situation, local government, and looking into our shareholder system, is that shareholders, like in any business, they would want to experience returns on their investment. Returns on the investment, it goes as far as quality service that you give to people. And giving that quality service, you must protect what you have. And therefore, that is why we are calling that there is an important conversation that we must enter into, turning local government around to be a business that it can be relied to, and so that it can continue rendering service.
From what we understand, this awareness campaign is also to encourage a conversation and to educate community members around the importance of paying for their services. What are some of the misconceptions you have picked up, especially now that we've come from local government elections? As I indicated to the Deputy Minister, what are some of the things or some of the information that you'd like to highlight in your awareness campaign and educating the community on why it is important to not only pay for their services, but to ensure that they do not destroy some of these infrastructure as you've just indicated?
When I look into the report in the recent past, as I go to the last National Executive Committee held in Kimberley and Northern Cape, I realize that over 255 billion rand is owed to municipalities, both by public, business and government. Now, the impact of this is that when you lose such huge amount of money, you are unable to pay services such as water boards, such as ESCOM, such as other issues that you're supposed to service in a municipality. Now, our call that it is important and it is a good thing to do to pay for services that you receive, so that that payment, it can be directed into improving other services that are required by communities. In fact, take it a business. If you don't pay any business, you buy through credit and you don't pay, the likelihood is that you collapse that business. And the reality of the matter, that business, it won't succeed going into the future. Now, paying what is due to municipality is important. And this is counterposed. As we pay what is due to municipality, you are also encouraging quality service to be rendered to communities, shareholders receiving returns on their investment. That's one part. The second part is that internally, we also understand that there are limitations and weaknesses. So we are also, as we mobilize communities to do the right thing, it is the right thing to pay what is due to the business called local government. But also internally, our staff establishment must be mobilized to perform the duties that made them to be employed in the institution. Because, by the way, you are a worker at the plant level, but you're a community member when you go to your community. And therefore, this service to our community is an integral part of problems that we are facing, and all of us, we must change that.
Very much. That is the president of SALGA speaking to us about the launch of their campaign, a Nosipho, let's say, campaign, which is a nationwide awareness drive to try and encourage those conversations between community members and themselves as SALGA on the importance of paying for their services.